Traveling the deserts of the world. Michel Martin, photographer and world traveler, has traveled through all of them for 5 years on a motorbike, a BMW GS. He traveled in Africa, Australia or Asia, always on 2 wheels, always right in the middle of it, but always exposed to extreme weather and the elements. A type of travel that is exhausting but has many advantages. First, I traveled by car in the 80s, but then I realized that with a motorbike, you are much closer to the people, the landscape, and you are also dependent on the help of the locals. For example, when you have to fill up in the middle of the desert. And if the petrol station doesn't have petrol, there is always somebody who conjures up some petrol from some barrels, sucking it up with their mouths, and what goes into the tank then, I really don't want to know. Of course, there wasn't any lead-free petrol anywhere in the world, and the catalytic converter broke straight away, but you can still drive quite well. But without the help of the locals, often nothing works. And another thing the adventurer desperately needs, luck. Luckily, we never had a total breakdown. We never really had that problem. You can improvise a lot, even with a highly technical motorbike. And this even works with a tire problem in the middle of the desert, when you know how. Luckily, we ran into some smugglers that could deal with a situation like this and mended the tire with a thick rope. And after it was pumped up again, he was actually able to continue. All in all, I have ridden the GS for about 250,000 kilometers, and I think it is the motorbike for long-haul journeys. It is the combination of payload, that means what you can take with you, a certain measure of comfort, safety, but also handling, and even though the GS surely is one of the heavier enduro bikes, I have always managed to get through heavy sand. As long as you keep the accelerator going on your machine, you can handle it much better. When you start to hesitate and drive slowly into the sand fields and then pull the brakes, especially when there are obstacles in the sand, you fall off straight away. And then it is really unpleasant to get the machine back up again. On your own, you don't stand a chance. Even meeting the locals in the desert is always something special for an adventurer like Michel Martin, because here worlds and attitude collide. The Africans are simply just fatalists. It will work somehow. They leave without an air pump, with a broken battery. I don't even get excited anymore. I'm always fascinated by it and think, let's just see what solution they will find. I then took the initiative and removed my motorbike battery myself, asked somebody to let me have the assembly levers, and the driver was extremely unwilling to hold the assembly lever there and make contact, but when the car started again, he has shown me a healthy respect ever since. But deserts do not only exist in Africa, but also in the highlands of South America. We're up over 4,000 meters, and the temperature was -20 degrees, and the bike wouldn't start the next day. But where there is a problem, there is a solution. We scooped up the hot geyser water with a saucepan and poured the water over the cylinders, and beforehand had wrapped the battery into towels and soaked the towels with hot water. They absorbed the water, warmed up the battery, and then it started again. But the German photographer feels more at home in Africa, even if totally different, dirty challenges are waiting for him here. But the Sahara is and will always be his absolute favorite. The Sahara, the desert that I saw first, is for me the most beautiful desert on Earth. The queen amongst deserts. With 9 million square kilometers, it is 25 times bigger than Germany. I will always return to the Sahara. Back from the desert, Michael is brought back down to earth quite quickly by our police.
Unter TÜV, wie solche Abgaben für Ewigkeit.
The police was quite shocked at first, but when they heard where we came from, what we did, they just said, "Go on, carry on." The photographer traveled 250,000 kilometers under extreme conditions, and the BMW GS has been most reliable. This is how myths are created. The myth BMW. For over 90 years, the name stands for quality, reliability, and also for sporty off-road successes. But what is behind it? What makes the brand BMW so good? How well do these Bavarian motorbikes work, and why are the models of the GS series the first choice for adventurers across the world?